If you want to know about the Nibelheim incident, Sephiroth's departure to darkness, and everything in great detail that the games and the compilation couldn't get through, or OVAs, and you want to learn how, and you just want to read something, read a good book by reading M.J. Gallagher's The Nibelheim Incident. It has the full backstory. It's a Chaos King of the Night, Vince Valentine EX Turk, another Halloween special, and we're gonna go through top 10 worst things the creepy, scary, disturbed Professor Sephiroth's father, Professor Hojo, has done. Starting with number 1, to get to the obvious thing. He's the reason why Zack is dead, because Zack escaped with Cloud, and, escaping one of Hojo's experiments is punishable by the government of Shinra. Thus, they were treated as rogue fugitives and, to be killed. Of course, Cloud survived. Unfortunately, Zack died from that, and pretty much the good character that everybody likes. It's Hojo's fault, like always, naturally. So, that's number 1. Number 2. All the horrible experiments in the Shinra Manor. Now, before we get to the Nibelheim reactor, this is where all the horrible experiments have started to create the ultimate super soldier or ultimate power being. All those monsters you've been fighting in the Shinra Manor are actually souls of all the experiments that went wrong of Hojo. And one of them really seems peculiar because there's one hanging on a pendulum, but there's a good reason: he has no legs. So Hojo is pretty much a fucked up dude who's kind of have a mentality of a Nazi scientist. And not just only that, but every other experiment, such as the twin victims known as the Yin and Yang twins. They're sewn completely together. So Hojo is a pretty fucked up individual. This man has no care for anyone or everyone. He just wants to prove how good he is in the science community. So pretty much, I can see why he's a little jealous of Professor Grimoire Valentine, just a little bit, because Professor Grimoire would be chosen over Hojo because, I don't know. Professor Grimoire Valentine has a little morality. Yeah, Hojo, you could use a lot of that. Taking people from Nibelheim and other places and doing god-awful things. And when you go to Dirge of Cerberus, you have to go relive all that stuff, because you get to see the tables where it looks like surgeries have been done in Dirge of Cerberus. Really, really disturbing stuff. Really some fucked up serial killer shit is going on. And it's done by the evil scientists. So let's get on to number 3. The 3 would be the Shinra Mako reactor, the abandoned one, where Sephiroth has freaked out and said that they're all monsters. This is where Sephiroth finally concludes that he's actually one of them, but a perfected version. The Mako energies are super high, even higher than Zack, and Zack was a first-class soldier. Reason why they did is because they were turned into complete monsters. Those were once human beings, but now they're locked in a case, and they look really freakish and just demonic looking, and it's horrible. It's horrible. It's super horrible. I can imagine if Sephiroth would have found out that Hojo's his dad all this time. I'm pretty sure he'd go right after Hojo's throne. Actually, technically, wouldn't that make Sephiroth the hero for going to kill Hojo? Because Hojo is, undiluted evil. I mean, Sephiroth's evil too, but You know, Hojo's just undiluted. He does not give a fuck about human life. Human life don't mean shit to him. So, yeah, fuck you, Hojo, for turning innocent people into monsters. You know, imagine their parents or families of those monsters would have saw their kids as those things in those pods, you know. And there's a good reason why the shit in Nibelheim is gone abandoned after the Nibelheim incident, and that's because, well, you know, it's a place where they could cover up all the horrible things they did in the name of Shinra. So, moving on, number 4, the emotional abuse of Lucretia Crescent. Now, I wouldn't go as far as to say Lucretia was raped by Hojo, because she actually chose to get pregnant by him and knocked up by him to create Sephiroth. But she kind of was hesitant, you know, a little bit when she saw the visions of the future. When she got to saw what her son was going to grow up to be a homicidal maniac, because of the circumstances later on. But, you know, it's pretty much, she wanted to cancel experiment. She couldn't cancel it. And not only that, but in order for Lucretia Lucretia's, you know, wish to be, you know, respected, such as Vincent Valentine remaining alive, you know, Lucretia had to go to Hojo and hook up with Hojo. But it's also the fact that Lucretia felt guilt for Vincent Valentine's father. So, you know, when Vincent Valentine confronted Hojo for all the fucked up stuff he did, not only to Lucretia, but also the other fucked up stuff, Hojo shot and killed Vincent. So, you know, you're a dick, Hojo. You're a fucking dick. You know, you promised Lucretia that no harm would come to Vincent. You know, I guess your word don't mean shit. You're just a psychopathic murderer, a scientist, SOB. So, yeah, and then all the emotional stuff when Lucretia was putting chaos in Vincent just to bring Vincent back alive because how bad she felt. Hojo chastised her and was like, oh, so you treat me like an experiment. I get what it is. You never loved the guy. You just wanted to use him as an experiment. And just put her to tears. God, no matter how much I talk about this character, I hate him even more. So, moving on. Vincent Valentine's life. At least later on in life. The Chaos Experiment, when he got killed by Hojo, Hojo put monsters and demons inside Vincent in order to be a perfect host for Chaos. So pretty much Vincent can't have a normal life thanks to this man. My favorite character can't have a normal life thanks to this son of a bitch of a man. But Vincent has at least got a good healing factor and partial immortality, as well as eternal youth, because, well, the only thing that's changed with Vincent through the years is his hair has gotten longer. That's about pretty much it. You know, no wrinkles or anything on the character. And the character's at least super old at this point. But yeah, Vincent Valentine's life was really ruined by this man. You know, first by leaving Lucretia in charge with Professor Grimoire with the Chaos Experiment, thus causing that to happen. So Vincent's dad died. Lucretia felt guilt. You know, Lucretia have to be, you know, forcing herself to break it off with Vincent because of how guilty she felt. You know, and go with Hojo, and then Hojo lying and killing Vincent, then experimenting with Vincent. Thus, Vincent feels so much anxiety and depression. Vincent locked himself in a casket after all things are said and done. Then find out later Lucretia did the same thing, but Lucretia put herself in a crystal, you know, stasis for the rest of eternity, or she could just sleep in the crystal for the rest of eternity. But you know, yeah, Hojo has fucked up Vincent Valentine's life. You know, so let's get to number 6, because I'm trying to make this a 12-minute video, so I can go on and on. Trying to breed Ares with Red 13. Yes, you heard me right. Trying to breed an Cetra human woman. Cetra human woman with the dog, with the Indian dog, with an Indian dog. If that ain't weird at all, I don't know what is. That's bestiality, my boy. That is bestiality. What are you doing, Hojo? What are you doing, bud? You can't do that. Just to breed new Cedra, he actually tried to mate Eris with a dog. What the fuck, bro? What the absolute fuck? We need Dr. Phil to come up in here and talk to Hojo, because Dr. Phil will set this man straight. No. You don't need Genova. You need Jesus, man. You need Jesus. Because this is some weird stuff you're doing, bud. This is Hojo. My boy, you gotta stop this stuff. This is getting too far. So, I think that would be number 6. Number 7, creating Sephiroth. Now, creating a kid isn't a bad thing. And Sephiroth did start out as a hero. But pretty much, you know, some of Sephiroth's homicidal tendencies have been inherited by Hojo. And as you can see what Sephiroth has changed, you can see a little bit of Hojo and Sephiroth when you see Sephiroth's face after burning down Nibelheim. You saw a change. He came from the herald hero and pretty much savior of the world to, you know, destroying the world that he was trying to protect. So, and of course it was gonna happen because, well, Sephiroth found out his life wasn't normal, that it was all made, he was a genetic experiment, and, you know, and if he found out what happened to his real mother in order to make that, and to find out there was Hojo, he would be even more furious. But, you know, destroying the world thing. So let's get to 9, and 9 is helping Sephiroth destroy the world by giving him Mako energy to crash meteor, which I'm trying to not get too far with the time limit, so I'm not gonna get into detail, but you go ahead and figure that out. Helping destroy the world that he lives on. Okay, you're crazy. Number 10, all the events of Deep Round. Possessing Weiss, the Accumulate, making Weiss go after Vincent. Even though Weiss had the idea to fuse with Omega before, even though he had the idea to fuse with Omega before, still, Hojo actually is the one who pushed and influenced all the events of Dirge Cerberus by putting himself in the neural network data. So all the bad things that happened in Dirge Cerberus, again, was yours truly, Professor Hojo. And as another bonus round, he also shot and killed Professor Gas after Professor Gas left Shinra, because Professor Gas couldn't stomach the experiments that were going on. So Eris's dad, biological dad, got shot and killed, and that's why Alfania was running to the Midgar slums to get away from all this, because they thought they were able to get away from it, but Hojo was able to find him in Icicle Inn and just, you know, straight up kill Professor Gas just for him leaving, you know. So yeah, these are the horrible atrocities Professor Hojo has done, and if I haven't listened to any, let me know in the comments below, and may the crystal be with you. We're also working on Vincent Valentine web series, fan trailer at least, so please support JTS Productions if you want to see a Vincent Valentine, you know, trailer, and then hopefully one day it becomes a web series, so there's that too.